There are certain words that can get your mouth watering with just a mention. At the top of that list, barbecue. I know barbecue's been around forever, and it takes nearly that long to prepare, too. Well, not anymore, because I'm whipping up a barbecue PDQ along with a couple of sides, and it's going to be on your plate in under 30 minutes. Hi there, I'm Rachel Ray, and I make 30-minute meals. Now that means in the time it takes you to watch this program, I'll have made a delicious and healthy meal from start to finish. Today, I'm gonna whip up a little barbecue goodness. I'm sure you're thinking, barbecue is not something that lends itself to a 30-minute meal. I thought that too, but I am very stubborn, and I love that slow-cooked flavor, so I had to find a speedy barbecue meal, and that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna make shredded saucy barbecue chicken Sammys, and to go along with them, I've got 2 tasty side dishes, some pepper and potato salad, and I'm going to make what I call avocado boats. You'll see what those are in a few minutes. Let's grab some stuff from the fridge to get going, though. Now, I'm going to make the barbecue chicken Sammys super healthy. I'm going to use boneless, skinless chicken breast. You could also use boneless, skinless chicken thighs if you prefer dark meat. And either way, they're both going to be really pretty good for you, all trimmed up. I'm going to grab some chicken stock. Now, you find this right on the soup aisle, and this is going to give it some long-cooked flavor in a short amount of time. I'm going to grab a little Mexican beer to work with, and I need scallions, and I'm going to grab a red bell pepper while I'm in here. This is for my potato salad. I got to get the potatoes going to make potato salad, so I'm going to grab that. And I also need some tomatoes. Let's see if I can do this in one trip. Okay. Not so bad. That was a pretty easy one. Now, the potatoes I like to use for potato salad are any color in the rainbow, but you got to look for the little guys. These are little baby Yukon Gold potatoes. I like to use baby potatoes for all of my potato salads because, well, a lot of reasons, actually. If you use the big starchy potatoes, like a russet potato, for instance, they can break up and not just stand up as well to the cooking process. Plus, these little guys, you don't have to peel them, so it's a time saver. And the really tiny ones, like this one here, I just throw them right in the pot. I don't even bother. And, they're kind of pretty, especially if you get the red ones or even the blue ones. They have a blue potato, too. They can be really colorful. So if you're doing a barbecue as kind of a get-together for you and some friends, it dresses it up a little. Now, I put the potatoes in the pot with no water. Don't bring the water up to a boil first. That's because as you're working, you can just chop and drop right into the pot, and they'll all cook at the same time if you put them into cold water and bring it up to a boil. The little guys cook up real quick. They're only going to be in there about 10 minutes once it comes up to a boil. I'm almost done here. Now, you want about, if you're cooking for 4 people, you want about 2 to 2.5 pounds of these little potatoes. That's like 1 sack from the produce department. And you can mix them up, too. You can use a few of the red, a few of the Yukon Gold, which look white when you cook them up, and a few of the purple ones, and you'd have like an all-star great 4th of July potato salad, because it'd be red, white, and blue. Clever, right? And don't use barbecue just in the warm months. I like to make barbecue like in the middle of the winter and put on like beach blanket music, Put a blanket out in the middle of the floor, and you can just have a little picnic right in your own living room in the middle of the winter. Some barbecue Sammys are perfect for that. Okay, these 2 are tiny. Let's put those in. Once you got them all in there, just bring the water up to the top of the potatoes. You fill it up too much, it's just going to boil over on you and make a big starchy mess on the outside of your pot that you have to scrub later. Shimmy and shake them so they're all on an even playing field in there. And then once you bring the potatoes to the stove, of course, you want to put a lid on it so it comes up to a boil quick, and crank the heat. There we go. Now we're going to start on a poaching liquid. Now, poaching just means you're kind of gently simmering something in a little bit of liquid. I'm going to use, as I said, the boneless, skinless chicken breast. And again, just like the potatoes, it doesn't need to be 3 inches over the top or anything. So I'm just going to put a little bit of chicken stock, a cup and a half, into my skillet here. Small to medium skillet's fine. You want it to be about the size of the chicken breasts. And I'm going to throw in half a bottle of beer. You can use all chicken stock if you want. This just gives it a little zippy something in the background that I like. I like the flavor of cooking with the beer. So now I'm going to put a flame under that and let that come up to a bubble. and then we'll slide the chicken in and just gently poach it. Now I'm going to start chopping up my veggies here. Now avocado boats, I told you I'd get to those. Avocado boats I do all the time as a no-brainer side dish. It's so fun and easy. You just take a whole avocado, cut it in half, scoop it out, and it looks like a little boat. You fill it up with any kind of dressing or salsa you like. Today I thought I'd just put a little bit of citrus action on it, a little lime or lemon juice, a little olive oil, and maybe dice up just a couple of beautiful tomatoes and chop up some scallions. Keep it really simple. And again, it packs up really well if you're going on a picnic. And you know, if you had leftover avocado, you can dice it up just like you would leftover chicken and make an avocado salad out of it. Put in whatever veggies you got in the fridge, and man, it is so good on a little piece of crusty bread. And you know, avocados can be, you know, they're high in fat, but they've also got lots of good stuff in them, lots of vitamins, and they're very healthful. It's a natural fat, and it's so yummy and delicious in the summer. It tastes like guacamole, basically, these little avocado boats. Now, this is why I like to work on a big cutting board, right? So you can just pile stuff up. You don't have to dirty up a bunch of little bowls. Now, the scallions, I'm going to put into the potato salad and on top of my little avocado boats. So I'm going to chop up a ton of them here. This potato salad you're going to love because, again, it's perfect for picnics in the summer because there's not going to be any mayonnaise going on. So it's going to be figure-friendly, plus you don't have to worry about it in the heat. You know, it can stand up outside. And it's going to be really colorful, too, because it's going to have a mix of the scallions and hot and sweet peppers. So really bright colors going on. It's going to be very healthful. That's not something you usually associate with barbecue, right? Healthy. I always think of, like, big greasy ribs, which I love, and huge mountains of mayonnaise-laden potato salads and macaroni salads on the side. But this is a meal you can actually really get into and feel good about eating because it's super healthy. I'm going to pop a few cloves of garlic here. This is going to be to start my sauce. I'm going to saute up some garlic and onions as a base to my homemade quick barbecue sauce here that we're going to put with that poached chicken. I'm going to just run my knife through this garlic here. I got to take a quick break. I'm going to work on an onion also for my sauce. And when we come back, I'm going to get into that barbecue sauce with you, so don't miss it. Great barbecue going on today in under 30.
The original culinary competition is boiling over on Sunday.
Scared?
Yes.
You should be.
I want this so freaking
This
bad.
is for real. 11 contenders are fighting to be Food Network's newest star. Premieres tonight at 9/8 Central.
Whose big idea was this? Mine!
It was mine, Fleabag.
Uh-oh! Houston! We have a problem!
Adios, amigo.
McDonald's celebrates the launch of DreamWorks Shrek the Third. Only we can throw a party like this.
Need more Ranch BLT premium chicken sandwiches.
With hickory smoked bacon and creamy ranch dressing for a taste that really rocks.
Oh!
Look out! Doggy in the house.
More dresses and more styles than you can possibly imagine at Macy's.
Sometimes to live big, you have to win big. Enter HGTV's Big Backyard Splash Sweepstakes, and you could watch your entertaining dreams come true. You could win $100,000 to transform your backyard into something refreshingly cool. Plus, you could win a tropical vacation for two, presented by Coleman and these national sponsors. Enter at hgtv.com or by mail. Wake up and enter.
This is your dad. Fortunately, you don't move like him. You develop your own unique way of moving as a baby. To help you move better, there's new three-way fit from Pampers Cruisers. It fits better at the waist, adapts around the legs, and between them for our best fit ever. And the freedom to find your own moves. New three-way fit from Cruisers, part of Pampers Stages, inspired by babies.
Hey, Welcome back to 30-Minute Meals. I'm Rachel Ray, and today I'm attempting a 30-minute barbecue feast, a big spread. I'm working on chopping up some garlic and onion here. This is to start my barbecue sauce for my barbecued shredded chicken sandwiches. Yummo! They're going to have really slow-cooked, big flavor, and it's only going to take a few minutes to pull the whole thing together. I'm adding some EVOO to this back skillet here to start that onion and garlic cooking up. I'm going to let that get warm first. Right down here, I've already got a potato salad working. I used about 2.5 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes, the little guys. You could also use small red skin potatoes or even blue potatoes. Just look for these little guys. They stand up better to boiling. You don't have to peel them. They cook up quick, and they make a perfect potato salad every time. I'm going to make my potato salad with some hot and sweet peppers. So it's going to be really bright and colorful, and it's going to be a vinegar salad, so you could take it out in the summer and not have to worry about the mayonnaise. In this pan, I have some poaching liquid that's come up to a simmer here. Now for my poaching liquid, I used beer, little Mexican beer, and some chicken stock. The chicken stock, I'll give it some great taste because it's going to go into our barbecue sauce, and the beer gives it a really good tang. Right now, it's going to be the cooking liquid for this package of boneless, skinless breasts. I got 4 breasts here, 6 to 8 ounces each. You could also use boneless, skinless thighs or chicken tenders. And it's all going to be a really healthful meal. This is barbecue that you can really feel good about. Now, this is going to cook about 5 minutes on each side at this kind of gentle simmer here. 5 minutes on each side, and see how the poaching liquid just comes up to the top of the chicken? That's fine. It's got a nice gentle bubble going on. Awesome. Then we're going to shred it up and put it with this sauce. Let's get the sauce started here, getting the onions and garlic in the pan. Oh, it smells so good instantly, doesn't it? I love putting garlic and onions in just about everything. If I could figure out a way to have them for dessert, I would. Oh, it just smells awesome as soon as you get that going on. Let that hang out. Let's move forward with the sauce. Out of the fridge, I'm going to grab some tomato paste and a little Worcestershire sauce, as Bugs used to say. Then we need a bowl, because we make the rest of this barbecue sauce right in a mixing bowl. How cool is that? Out of the pantry, I'm going to grab some brown sugar. You could also use light brown sugar if you want. My grill seasoning, I use that a ton. And I got a fresh bottle of hot sauce to break in here. Hot sauce is really not that hot. But if you really don't like spicy food, you could just totally leave it out of this. It wouldn't make any difference in the world. A little less zesty, but it's still going to be darn tasty. Now, the tomato paste, look for this kind in a tube. It's so clever because if you buy it in the can, you got to transfer it out of the can to store it. If you buy it in this nice little tube, you just throw it in the fridge. And each time you need it, you just squirt out whatever you need and pop it right back in there. I need about 4 tablespoons of tomato paste. And I'm just going to eyeball it. That looks like 1, 2, 3. I'll show you when I'm all done here. Hang on. 4. See those 4 little blobs? That's what I mean when I say eyeball it. That looks like about a tablespoon each. Great, done. Then I'm going to add 3 tablespoons, again, about 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. I don't bother buying all those little gadgets. Ooh, this is boiling too high. Now, guys, don't let that happen. You don't want it up too high. It'll make tough chicken. Nice, gentle bubbles over there. So anyway, what I was saying, all those little measuring gadget things just clutter up my drawers. So I just use a big soup spoon. That's my kind of tablespoon. Just dump it in there. 1, 2, 3. I know this sounds really weird, but honestly, it works out great. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce now. We're going to mix up all of these ingredients in the bowl, and then later we're going to thin it out with some of the cooking liquid that's getting all that nice flavor from poaching up our chicken. So see, in the end, this is going to be one tasty sauce. Then I need about 2 tablespoons of grill seasoning. Now, grill seasoning comes in a lot of different brands. You get it right on the spice aisle, and it's just a little bit of a time saver. It's a mixture of coarse black pepper, coarse salt, onion, garlic, and a little bit of hot pepper flake. Delicious. And, you know, it varies from brand to brand what else they put in there, but it's just a nice time saver. Whenever I'm doing any kind of grilling or barbecue, I go to my grill seasoning. Now, a palmful for me is about 2 tablespoons. Again, you could just eyeball that. 1, 2. Dump it right in there. And then for me, I like a nice zip to my sauce, so I'm going to use about a tablespoon of hot sauce, and I'm just going to eyeball it. That's about a teaspoon. It's about 2. It's about 3. Call it a day. Now, I'm just going to let this hang out off to the side. It's done. When the chicken's done, 5 minutes on each side. I'm going to add some of the cooking liquid to that, and it'll make a nice sauce, trust me. And then we're going to get it all in there with those onions and garlic. Yum-o. What am I doing? Let's work on the pepper next. Now, this is for the potato salad. I am going to combine both sweet bell pepper and hot peppers. So it's going to be really colorful and really tasty and a nice balance of hot and sweet, just like the barbecue sauce. Got to take a quick break. I'm just going to get chopping. Don't miss it when we come back. More about our 30-minute delish barbecue chicken.
Hey, dads, we got 4 words for you. Chili, barbecue, pizza, beer. It's a night in honor of you. Father's Day Buffet. Saturday night starting at 8/7 Central on Food Network.
Wrap yourself in youthful, glowing skin with our added Ribbon with Light Enhancers in new Olay Body Wash with Radiance Ribbons. It's the body wash that moisturizes and turns the lights on your skin.
If you could use some new cookware or need a great gift, this famous brand is coming to Tuesday morning for as little as $19.99 a piece. So shop early, because a deal like this is really cooking. Starting this coming Tuesday at 8 a.m.
The Philips Norelco Smart Touch XL adjusts to your face for a closer shave with 50% more shaving surface and 3 shaving rings in each shaving head. Philips Norelco, the world's best-selling electric shaver. Simplicity is making every stroke count.
They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together ooky, the Addams Family.
Introducing M&M's Dark Chocolate.
We traveled to Italy in search of something more natural.
There's no artificial flavors or preservatives.
Yeah, man. Mechivato uomo.
Introducing Nature's Way from Rice-A-Roni, a whole new line of naturally flavored rice and pasta dishes.
You make it with olive oil.
It's like nature's way, man.
Taste how good dinner can be when it's made nature's way.
Nature's way, man. The San Francisco treat.
I don't love you much, do I? Just more than all the stars in the sky.
I don't love you much, do I? I think you hung the moon, and that's all right.
See how it sparkles in my eye. I couldn't hide it if I tried. That's right. I don't love you much, do I?
Hey, boy, we got you something.
It's your new sister.
Pets make our families complete. Welcome your newest family member at the PetSmart Puppy Center, where our associates will show you our top picks for new pet parents. PetSmart. Be better together.
You're watching Grillin' and Chillin' Week on Food Network.
Moving survival tip number 137. Always pack the toilet paper last, because it may be the first thing you need in your new place.
But the best moving tip is to use Dish Mover from Dish Network. Just call us when you're ready to move. Take your receivers and remotes with you and leave the dish antenna behind. We'll professionally install a new dish antenna and your receivers at your new home. It's Dish Mover. Dish Network. More convenience for you, better TV for all.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh.
Very nice.
Or the fields we go.
That I totally believe. From the moment I met you, it's been an adventure.
Bells on bobtail.
Someone's having a party tonight.
Oh, yeah.
It is to ride and
It's cheeky.
a singing song tonight.
The holiday.
Are you embarrassed?
Hey, welcome Welcome back. Today I'm working on a 30-minute barbecue meal, and in just about 20 minutes I have got a lot done. I've poached up some chicken breasts here. They're beautiful. I cooked them 5 minutes on each side in a mixture of Mexican beer and chicken stock. Now I'm going to just slide those out. I'm going to chop them up in a minute. I'm going to get them out now because they're just perfect. And in the same amount of time, I've also managed to saute up some garlic and onions. That's for my barbecue chicken Sammy sauce. And I've boiled up some nice baby Yukon Gold potatoes here for our potato salad. So we've got one of our side dishes already ready to go. Our second side dish, an avocado boat. We're going to get to that in just a couple minutes. But that's not bad work for 20 minutes, right? Now I'm going to run my knife through this chicken and set it into this bowl over here. In that bowl, I've got the makings of my barbecue sauce. I've got brown sugar, about 3 tablespoons, 4 tablespoons of tomato paste, 2 tablespoons of grill seasoning, and about 1 tablespoon of hot sauce. Now, the way that saves us time is all those elements would normally be in a pot with lots of vinegar and stock and maybe tomato sauce instead of the paste, and it would slow cook over a long period of time while the chicken on the bone was slow cooking. Then you take the chicken off the bone, shred it up, put it in the sauce. This is all about fast but good. Now I'm taking the chicken that I just ran a knife through on an angle to just get it going a little bit, and I'm just plopping it right in there with all those great flavors. And then I'm going to take a couple of forks and just shred it up. I'm going to need some of the stock here to make everything come together and be nice and saucy. So I'm adding in our nice flavorful cooking liquids. You want to start with about 1 cup and reserve the rest. You can make it as saucy as you like as you go. And then get your forks in there and just start breaking and shredding, breaking and shredding. And then as you're breaking it up with the forks, all of the sugar will melt into that tomato paste and into the liquid from the cooking, from the poaching, and just make this amazing smelling, delicious thing so fast and so easy. Oh man, that smells so awesome. You just keep pulling it off the tips of the forks as you're breaking it up. And now remember, if you prefer the chicken dark meat, hey, go get the boneless, skinless thighs. They're in there. They're right alongside the breast. Ask your butcher about it. And no matter what, this is a whole lot more figure-friendly than having a big old sticky plate of ribs. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I love slow-cooked barbecue. But this is a nice, fast way to hit all those same flavor elements in a really short amount of time. I got one last piece here. And now we're going to just plop it into the pan there, slide her in with all of our garlic and onions. And this will continue to break down as it all mixes together. How gorgeous does that look, huh? Oh, yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to get these potatoes drained because they cook up in no time. About 10 to 12 minutes and they'll be good and fork tender. And whenever I make potato salad, I always drain off the potatoes and then I pop them right back into the same warm pot. That's to get all of the water off the potatoes and dry them out a little so you don't end up with a wet, soggy potato salad. Once I get them right back in there, that handle's not hot. You just let them hang out for a couple of minutes, and then you can come back to them. Now we're going to get to our avocados. These are nice Hass avocados, and these are perfectly ripe. They just have a bit of a give to them, but not too much, and the skin's nice and dark. Now, if it doesn't look like this, you know, you can always darken it up on your counter, or if they've gone too far, slow it down. Pop them in the refrigerator, slows down the whole process. You cut all the way around the pit, give it a twist and separate it, and then you just scoop the avocado out with a nice big spoon, and this becomes our avocado boat. That's our second tasty, easy side dish. Now, once I get the avocado out, I season it up with a little bit of salt, and I get some lemon juice on it. Roll it on your board first to get the juices flowing a little bit in that. Now, remember, I always juice the lemons right side up so the pits stay with the lemon, and the juice kind of just spills down over the side. You hit it with a little lemon juice to slow down the browning, of course. Now we're going to drizzle it with a little bit of EVOO. Yummo. A little shot of hot sauce. You got to give it a little bit of a kick. And then I'm just going to season up my tomatoes with a little bit of salt too, and flip them together with my fingertips right on the cutting board. I didn't even have to dirty a bowl. And then I just fill up the little half avocado with some of that tomato and green onion, and you can spill a little extra alongside and pass it, and it's like a side dish in a salad, and it's so cute. I gotta take a quick break. I'm just gonna keep working on my avocados here, and when we come back, those chicken Sammies hit the buns. Wait till you see what goes on top of them. You don't wanna miss it.
Here's a good eats moment with Alton Brown.
Happiness is a sharp knife. Trouble is, even a great edge won't stay that way if you use it. Luckily, with some basic blade maintenance, we can help our edges last longer. Now, let's say for a moment that this is a sharp knife. Okay, over time, the edge gets bent out of shape. Or it's still there, it's just not pointing at the food anymore. This is where a honing steel can help.
Hold the steel vertically and lightly pass the knife 5 times down on one side, then 5 times down on the other side, then 2 times again on the first side. Although a 15-degree angle is considered perfect, just pretend you're trying to cut off a thin slice of the steel. Do this a few times a month, and odds are you'll be able to go a year between sharpenings.
What is sharpening? Well, eventually, this edge is going to literally wear away, and the material will have to be removed to create a new one. That is called sharpening, and as far as I'm concerned, it's best left to professionals.
For more, visit foodnetwork.com. Brought to you by the 2007 Hyundai Santa Fe. It's very smart.
Best Buy. Best-in-class vehicle satisfaction. Best new midsize SUV. Best-in-class standard safety technologies. Best accommodations for friends and family. Best new minivan. Best best-in-class vehicle satisfaction. Standard safety technologies. Best time to buy. Come see us now and get one of our best lease prices. Just $199 a month on the new Hyundai Sonata.
All this week. Watch out for Snack Attack Week. All this week at 7:30, 6:30 Central on Food Network Nighttime.
Acid wear is usually brought on by acidic foods, soft drinks. If they are taking in acidic foods and they start brushing right after, they're wearing away their enamel. I would recommend a product such as Pronamel. It makes the enamel more resilient. You'd use it like you would any other toothpaste.
You can't always tell something is underinflated just by looking. So always use a tire gauge to check your tires.
Mario Andretti and Firestone remind you.
Check your tires.
I'm afraid it's more than a spring fling. Here they are behind the couch, on the bookcase, right in front of the window. I think it's over.
There's a better way to reduce springtime allergens. Swiffer Dusters. It has thousands of dust-locking fibers to trap and lock springtime allergens that old dusters stir back in the air. It's the cleaner spring cleaner. Same time tomorrow? Swiffer gives spring cleaning a whole new meaning.
You're watching Grillin' and Chillin' Week on Food Network.
Hey, welcome back. I'm Rachel Ray, and I'm working on a quick barbecue spread today, and it's almost ready. Working on my potato salad here. I took baby Yukon Golds, 2.5 pounds of them, cooked them up till they were nice and tender. Now I'm spicing them up. I used a few forkfuls of already sliced jalapeno peppers. You get them right on the international foods aisle in the Mexican section, of course. Put a little splash of the juice from the jar in there. That gives it some real zing, a big kick. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of vinegar. This is an oil and vinegar salad, so if you use it in the summer, you don't have to worry about it hanging out in the sun because there's no mayo going on. I used a couple of splashes of cider vinegar. You can use any vinegar you have on hand. Drizzle of EVOO just to get everything all mixed together well. Nice and lightly coated. And now I'm adding the color and the sweetness. The sweet red bell pepper and a couple of scallions. Get a little onion action going on in there. Really colorful, super simple salad. Salt and pepper, of course. And that's it. You flip it around. Now remember, when you drain the potatoes, put them back in the hot pot so your salad's not too wet. That's done. Just transfer it over here to a nice big serving bowl. Oh, that is so gorgeous, huh? How easy and cool is that? Now I'm going to put together my barbecue chicken Sammies. Man, did I save a lot of time on these guys, because I'm a 30-minute girl, but I am not sacrificing barbecue. Now, I took my chicken, I poached it up in some stock and Mexican beer, and then I made a sauce in a bowl out of those cooking liquids and brown sugar and tomato paste. Man, this is gonna be so good. And I'm gonna top it off with some chopped up sour pickles and sweet pickles combined. I make my own relish that way. How good does that look, huh? Unreal. And then alongside, instead of a salad, I got my avocado boats with chopped tomatoes and scallions, a little hot sauce and lemon juice on it. I am so psyched we're all out of time. Thanks for watching. I'm Rachel Ray. And remember, a great barbecue meal, it's never more than 30 minutes away.
You know, there are two